Hello, sophomores. I only received a few questions from you. One is, of course, the obvious. Are we going to have an essay on this test? Yes, you are. And we will talk about that in just a minute. First of all, want to make sure that you all know how to find the web tests on the Student Ren Web Facts portal. It is under the web test tab. And if you do not take it on time, it will come back that the time has expired. So if you have this problem because you don't get it done on time or on the time elapsed or whatever the time assigned, let me know for sure, and I will make sure that that's reopened for you. Some of my juniors had a big time problem with this because they didn't understand that they had to have it done before midnight. And since it's a timed test, it'll close you off from letting you start it 15 minutes ahead. That's however much time you get. You guys actually get more than 15 minutes. Obviously, this is a test. So you actually get 45 minutes to take the test. The idea behind the timed test is, of course, that you are not going to be tempted to look up things on outside resources. But of course, I know you wouldn't do that. So anyways, so it's a time test. 45 minutes should be more than enough time for you to go through the 20-some multiple choice questions and select a choice and write the essays. There are 3 essays. The 3 essays, remember, should be started with an indentation, and you should use punctuation, capitalization rules, things like that. I am looking right here, right now, so I can tell you what the questions are. So here are the 3 questions. And you should, of course, be using specific examples from the reading. Specific examples does not mean that you get to use your book, however, Mr. Goots, or Mr. Munoz, or Mr. Saeed, or Mr. Fort Miller. I can tell that's probably going to be a, hey, but I was using my book so I could find an exact example. Anyways, just teasing, guys. So here are the 3 essay questions. The first one is, in each story in Ovid's Metamorphoses reports a transformation. What transformation takes place in Pyramus and Thisbe? So I really want you to talk about the transformation. That means I want specific events from the story. So if I were doing this on the Daedalus and Icarus story, the one about the wings, I would talk about how we now call the sea near Crete the Icarian Sea, right? So see how that's so specific because he fell into the water. We now call it that name. See how that's a specific example. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for, okay? The second question is again about Ovid, and that is Ovid does not tell why the parents of Pyramus and Thisbe opposed a relationship between the lovers. What do you think were the reasons for their opposition? So in this, it's asking what you think, but guys, please don't use first person. Stay in that third person, very formal essay response voice, okay? What do you think are possibilities? I mean, it's kind of open in the air. And as long as you're giving me some sort of response that might use details or hints from the story, that would be a perfect essay. The last one deals with the wooden horse. And I know that story is a little bit harder for maybe everybody to understand. They were kind of explaining the background of what happened when the Greeks left and the Trojans had to decide and how they had to decide to bring that horse in there. And you have the Greek army guy, soldier guy, who's left on the beach with the horse, Sinon. And the question is, was Sinon a hero? Why or why not? And then it says, of course, give specific examples from the text. I want you to tell me why you think Sinon, who convinced the Trojans to bring the horse inside, was a hero, or if he wasn't a hero. So that's, again, it's a kind of up to you, your opinion question, but it asks you to use specific examples from the text. And we're not going to use, I think, I know, in my opinion. We're going to stay with those very formal third person pronouns like the reader or one can. Okay, so try to remember that. Also about essays, don't forget, topic sentence should restate the question. The concluding sentence should restate the question and your opinion. Okay, so if it's the Sinon was a hero, so you might say, I truly believe, or sorry, you can't use I. You want to use the reader can tell that Sinon was a great Greek hero in The Wooden Horse. And then at the ending, you're going to say something like, for all of these reasons, you can see Sinon was a great hero. Okay? Then the details obviously go in between. But don't forget those introductory topic sentences and concluding sentences. Lots of people lose points on those. Please don't do that. The other thing that I'm going to remind you is that you can't use the little and sign like that, or any contractions. Please don't use those. They're not for formal writing, okay? So those things, if you do those things, you will get full points on the essays, and you do have to do all 3 essays. Is it okay? Can we have notes to help us? No, but you can look up things ahead of the quiz. So I only had, that was the one question that Gracie brought up. The only other person who had a question for me was Grace Moses. And Grace asked about the specific roles of the people in the assassination of Caesar. And when we get into the play here in this next week, it's going to be so much more clear to you. But here are the roles. So we have 2 men named Brutus. Now they have names other than that. One is Marcus and one is Decimus. So Marcus Brutus and Cassius are the 2 leaders of the conspiracy to kill Caesar. They didn't like that Caesar was getting all this power, and they really thought they were doing the best thing for Rome by killing Caesar. So they're the 2 co-conspirators. Then we have Decimus Brutus, and he is a senator who's sent to go get Caesar. Caesar his wife has this horrible dream that he's going to die, and to humor her, he's going to stay home. But Decimus Brutus comes and says, no, you have to come to the Senate because, oh, whoops, I shouldn't have said anything, but you're going to be crowned today. So he appeals to his ambition and gets him to go to the Senate. Now, the other important person that you should know in the conspiracy would be Casca, C-A-S-C-A, Casca. And he's the guy who strikes first. He's the first guy to actually go ahead and stab Caesar. So those are the 4 most important people that you'll need to know. There's one more that's important. He's not in the conspiracy, but he is important, and that would be Artemidorus. And Artemidorus is a friend of Caesar. He tries to warn Caesar about the assassination plot by passing him a letter on the street. So he's the one who tries to warn Caesar. And of course, we're going to learn more characters, but for this test, guys, those are the important ones. If you haven't already looked at my study guide that I put up there for you, you really need to do that just to make sure that you have all the information that's going to be on the quiz. It's a shorter quiz. I think there are 35 questions. I think that's right. All but 3 are multiple choice. The other 3 are essays. So I hope you have good luck on your test. Of course, if you have a problem, please email or text me, and I will try to help you out if I can at all. But other than that, I think you should be fine. Good luck. And, you know, just do the best that you can. And of course, I'll be reading and looking over everything just to make sure that things are, all taken care of if you have questions or something like that, and I can help you. Okay. Guys, I would love for you to send me pictures of how you're studying, what bizarre, weird things you're doing during this crazy, kooky weirdness for yearbook, because of course those guys have to finish a yearbook, and they are actually going to be putting in some information about how school went crazy and how we're doing all this e-learning stuff, which, by the way, is absolutely crazy for me. I'm trying really hard to get like the system or a pattern or something, but it's just crazy. It's crazy for me, so I know it must be crazy for you and for some of your parents. Like, I stopped by one of Elizabeth's houses, friends' houses today, and they have 5 kids in their family, and I am amazed their mom can get anything done. So, keep a good spirit up, and hopefully we'll all get to go back to school soon, so we can see each other and have all sorts of crazy pranks and things like that. Although I did actually think of you guys this morning when I was thinking, gosh, isn't this great? We get to go to the bathroom whenever we want. And for you sophomore boys, I know that's a big deal. So, don't get too excited though, because this has got to stop at some point. So anyways, good luck tomorrow on your test. Do the best job you can. If you have questions, ask, okay? I hope to see you guys soon, because I seriously miss you. And if I have to spend much more time at my house like this, I may, start cleaning. Ugh. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye.